type of person, black person, I might add, who actually loves to fawn over white people. She's upset that she's not one of them because for whatever reason in her twisted mind, she associates white with right and goodness and beauty. And so therefore she sees herself as lacking. This is the psychology behind all of this and people like her.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites only girls Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all white only conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported, they shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada yada yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, the parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave, exclusionary just for white people, with all the black people in East Texas, with all the Hispanic people in East Texas. Somehow, some way, you have carved out an all-white, whites-only enclave in East Texas for your white children. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed and to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members.
Not only is this bitch evil, she's ignorant. Okay? She's ignorant. All she sees is that these were young white girls or white people at this camp. Bitch, no one is stopping you from going. You could have attended. Maybe, just maybe, you should have attended, and maybe you would have learned something to free and clear your mind. Maybe they probably would have accepted you and loved on you, befriended you, whatever else, but you're too ignorant to understand and see the depth of your evil. These young girls and their camp leaders, all of them have not even been found yet. They're probably floating in the Guadalupe River, and this bitch is worried about their skin color, how much melanin they do or don't have. Are you serious? I mean, you can get, there's evil and then there's depravity, I guess. I mean, this is utter, you really can't have any other words except how depraved this woman is, this black woman talking about skin color, how consumed she must be in her heart and mind with skin color, how narrow her focus may be. I mean, that's all I can say. I can't.
Yeah, as she wears yellow horsehair in her head.
She's an asshole. Let's just call it what it is. She's flat out an ass. And truth be told, she's doing it for clicks. She's doing it for likes. She's loving the attention. She's looking for the next grift. It's harmful to Black culture when people do things like this, because the narrow-minded, like Shelley pointed out, the people who are looking for their beginning grift latch on to this mentality, and before you know it, it's pervasive in a certain subset of our culture. And this is the beginning, end, and middle of Black fatigue. Where is Tyrone talking about his niggadry? This is what this is. This is 100% this woman who does not have the sense God gave a goose should not be speaking about anybody's tragedy in terms of skin color. If all of these were Black kids, would she had made the video going, well, where are the white kids? Why were there no Asian kids at this camp? Of course she would not. She's playing to the media. She's looking for likes. And I hope she gets liked right out of a job. I hope she gets liked right out of her community circles. I hope she gets liked right off the internet. This is the type of person, and I'm no person who likes censorship of anybody, but sometimes you are so disgusting and so trash and so vile, they should censor you. They should turn off your internet. Elon hit the satellite a couple times and turn her shit off. She's doing too much. This is not the moment. These girls are still missing. And by throwing in, oh, I hope they find them, doesn't make it any better. It does not make it any better.
Yeah. Oh, I would think she believes every word she says. She's a hateful maggot. Yana, what are your thoughts on this?
That person makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all I have to say about her. She literally doesn't make sense. She's like, I wish they're found, but look at them, they're all white.
Right.
Okay. So like, are you hating on them? And because they're white, and then she's like, they don't have a token Asian, a token Black person, so they don't have a DEI program.
Right.
Basically. Okay. So, and just like Nicole said, if they were all Black kids, this would not be an issue to her. Mm-hmm. And then she said they were exclusionary. How where did she? Does that say on their website?
No.
Like, just looking at all white people is automatically they're exclusionary. So they're going through applications and they're choosing who to pick. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And then I hope they're all found, but they want you to pray for them. So basically, don't pray for them because your family is being deported. They're not even. She's not like, it's not computing. It's not. Nothing is connecting that. So it's just total hate. That's all she has.
Yeah, and let me tell you what's really happening. Okay, Black, white, Hispanic, Texans are linking arms, pulling neighbors from flooded homes. We've seen all the footage, donating supplies, rescuing stranded families, and nobody's asking about political affiliation when they're dragging people from rising waters. But this nasty, nappy-headed wench wants to sit comfortably behind her screen, spewing hate and bitterness and bigotry while people are literally dying. That is not activism. That is cruelty. But guess what? She has been baked in the leftist oven. Okay. Absolutely. This is not a one-off. These are the type of people we are dealing with, folks, on the left, and they need to be removed. They need to be removed. This is not all. And guess what? So she's one of these Pan-Africans, so-called. But look at this next clip. This is clip 4. This is something made by a good friend of the show, Kofi19. He does great work on Instagram. Take a look at this. This is clip 4.
I'm Sade Perkins. I live in the 3rd Ward and operate a farmer's market in 4th Ward. I've been a part of grassroots social movements since returning home from serving in Iraq with the 82nd Airborne. I'm a member of the National Black United Front. I've been mentored and inspired by many local activists like the Shango-initiated Ifa priest and jazz musician Bobby Ifalade, Kofi Taharka, MBUF's national chairman, and John Bunchy Creer, a veteran of the Black Panther Party. They taught me to understand community service as a spiritual practice.
I adhere to that philosophy that love is the connector, is the builder. Even Fred Hampton says, and even my husband says, a lot of brothers and sisters say, you got to be a revolutionary, you got to have love for the people.
Our community is Pan-African. We build grassroots organizations across Ifa, Voodoo, Islam, Christianity, Santeria, Moorish science, and various political philosophies. After losing many of my elders to the COVID pandemic, I wanted to preserve the wisdom of those that remained. Over the last year, with my partner, the Reverend Dr. Colin Bosson, of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston,
like those rainbows in my mind when I think of you some time. I wanna spend some time with you.
Okay, so she hates white people, but she is dating a lily white guy. I mean, how does this make sense?
Because these are the people who hate. No, they say they hate white people, but they hate that they're not white. That's what it is. These are the same fake kumbaya people that you would hear going around. And what is this pan-Africanism? Well, first of all, this is America. Take your ass to Africa and then spread all the pan-Africanism across the continent of Africa if you choose. But here, you're married to a white guy. I think the other lady was, or that's the same one. They're full of it. They want to be white, and that's why they're upset. That's how they're projecting their hate and anger, that they're not white. They are fucked up in the mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't believe when I saw that. I couldn't believe when I saw that. What in the world is going on, Nicole?
Listen, I could believe it because, this is commonplace, right? He loves her because the blacker she is, it gives him a little charge because he's got this quote unquote Pan-African queen in his bed. And she loves his lily white skin and wishing it would rub off. Having white in you is not the same as having white on you. Someone should tell her that. But this whole thing is starting to get deeply, deeply disturbing because here he is, the Reverend Doctor, something to something else of some other, rub a crystal across your forehead church. I've had enough of both of them to last a lifetime. This is not the time. America is pulling together. And this goes back to my theory of two Americas. Some people can't make it. Some people are not going to make the cut. And I strongly suggest we put her at the top of the list of people who have to stay behind. She's not fit for humankind. She's just not.
That's why they need to get this cup. Go to our site. Not black, not white. We are Americans. Don't let them divide us. And for all you white people out there, if you think that, I'm just saying, if you think that you're doing black people some favor because you want to kumbaya them and fawn over them, you're not. Don't placate them. And black people, if you think that because you're not light enough or white is right, you are all screwed up. Go get your head straight. Go get your heart straight, okay? Then come back and talk to us.
Well, you know what? To me, it's a grift. This is a grift. What these nuts do is they push this racial hatred. They try to divide us based on ethnicity. And time again, we find out that they are married or dating or in love with white people. I mean, Kamala Harris, Don Lemon. I mean, the list goes on. This hateful wench. I mean, they continue to push this, and then they are with white people. Before I get you in on this, Yana, I want to acknowledge our super chatters here, folks. Thank you so much. All right, let's see here. Okay. Faith Penner with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Pop Family. Thank you. All right, Chadwick with the $5 super chat says you can't be a follower of Pan-Africanism and married to anyone that is not African. That's not how it works, especially not a white person.
Bam.
It's stupid. JT Thompson with the $10 super chat. I'm giving $10 for the epic Shelly rant.
Thank you,
Go
JT.
get 'em. All right, Gimpy with the $5 super chat says, I get it now. Shelly is very moved by this story. That is why she yelled at production before the show. Yeah, she was fired up, folks. Laura, thank you so much. Says, yes, ma'am, Shelly. Yes, indeed. These folks are so hateful. Yana, before I get you in, I want you to look at this next clip again of Sade Perkins. And she's doubling down on this, folks. She got a lot of pushback online, and she's doubling down. This is clip 5.
Y'all caught the fucking news on me. I wasn't gonna post anymore, but I think it's really funny how my little voice and my little 7,000 followers has garnered enough attention to where y'all want me to make a public statement, and I gave one. I definitely gave one. Wouldn't have been my first time having a news interview. If you look up my name, and I'm sure y'all have seen it, I have, tons of news articles written about me and the work that I've done. So, okay. She asked me for a statement. I gave her one, and I told her what it was. And I think that this is like On one hand, it's definitely funny because I'm over here kikiing for sure, but do not negate the fact, all right? These are white people using their white power, all right, to try to bring me down, I guess. But the fact that it's just not working is even more hilarious. Y'all have called Princeton. Mind you, my fellowship with Princeton was 2 years ago. The work that I did is already done, and the money that I've been paid has already been paid and spent. So that's done. So reaching out to them is doing absolutely nothing. I mean, you're just making your fingers sore typing all the letters.
Wow. And she's talking about this white power. If white power is real, please somebody get her boyfriend to sit her old stale ass down somewhere and tell her to get off the computer. Use his power to sit her down. How about that? Yana, what's your thoughts on that exchange?
Well, her boyfriend, I think, is a little Marxist weasel.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
he just follows everything that she says. He says the right things to her, and that's why they're together. I think probably no black man can probably stand her. That's probably what's going on. I mean, she is insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
And she has hate, she has victim mentality, and she's an angry victim. That is a dangerous person. A person who feels like they're victim and they're lashing out.
Right. You're right. Shelly, what are your thoughts there?
I was gonna say something nasty. I just gonna say something nasty. You know, she's probably on top all the time. Or I mean, you know, she's probably on top of him all the time. But again, this is nothing but hate disguised under an academic rubric. You know, the fellowship with Princeton and all this. This is what it is, and this is how our universities have catered and cultivated this kind of thinking, if you will, indoctrination, and they have been outlets to bring in more of it and push more out on American continent. These people are nothing but haters and angry. That's all they are. They are bitter. Again, she's the one that's probably always on top.
Yeah, or behind with a dildo. Nicole, what are your thoughts here?
I was thinking the same thing, KJ. Stop reading that bubble over top of my head. But no, you know, the insult to injury with this whole thing is it's very likely that our tax dollars paid for her very indoctrinated education. You know, we've got to figure this out, folks. We really have. You know, they rake us over the coals for the money. Then they indoctrinate people who hate the country, and we have to fight them tooth and nail with the pocket change we have left. This is absolute insanity. I hope her husband grows a pair.
Right.
Or she allows him to take it out of her pocketbook and finally stands up to her. At some point, someone in her life has got to point out to her how absolutely disgusting she sounds. How this is not the moment for things that, you know, everything that happens in your head shouldn't come out of your mouth. Her filter's broken. She really needs someone to check her. I don't think it's going to be him, though, because he looks like, you know, he's comfortable letting her lead. But in her mind, she didn't see anything wrong with it. It tells me there's something wrong with her mind.
Oh, yeah. And like we said, I mean, she's selling pain and outrage, even if it means contradicting her own life. This is what they do. It's profitable, but it's not principled. And if your entire platform is rooted in hating whiteness, yet your whole household proves you don't believe what you preach, then what are you really doing? It's not activism, it's acting. And the only thing consistent is the hustle, the racial hustle, the racial grift. And it continues.